إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته إن شاء الله الخبير المتعال. Today we met again with regard to reading in this great book of one scholar named Imam al-Zahabi rahimahullah. So brothers and sisters, last week we started with an introduction of this book, where we started with al-Muqaddimah. As I was saying during last time, this book is no longer teaching us how to do or how to perform prayer. It is no longer teaching us how to perform a song. But this book is telling us on some of the major sins that we used to commit in our deen and what we need to avoid with regard to our deen. This major sin we started last week. So according to some ulama, they said this major sin, like as mentioned by Almighty Allah in the Holy Quran, Allah promises that whoever distances himself from this major sin, so Almighty Allah will clear out his minor sin. So this is it. So last week we are done with Muqaddimah. So inshallah, today we will start with Kabirat al-Ula. That's the first tab or the first chapter in this holy book. So this chapter is nothing other what Al-Kabirat al-Ula fi mas'alati shirk. We ask Almighty Allah to give us an opportunity to utilize what we're going to learn and to use it here and hereafter. May it be our guidance through this world and hereafter as well. May Allah grant us our wish. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then the Imam said, Al-Kabirat al-Ula, this is the major sin number 1. As we mentioned last week, this book divided this Kabira up to the 70. It is almost 70 of it. So we have 70 division of this Kabira. So we have shirk, we have as-sihr, we have killing someone, we have adultery, zina, we have something drinking alcohol or beer, we have something betting, we have sariqa, thefting, we have something al-luwat, homosexuality, so many of them. So inshallah we'll be going to them one after the other, so that we'll be able to figure out the problem, on how to address the problem, and how to repent to Almighty Allah, so that we can be able to finish off here, and God willing to get what we are hoping to get, thus Al-Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah grant our wish. This ashirku billah. Then the Malan said, فَأَكْبَرِ الْكَبَائِرِ, that's the biggest among this major sin, is ashirk billahi ta'ala. It is what? Associating Almighty Allah with partner. Dear brothers and sisters, if we made mention of associating Almighty Allah, so nowadays we used to do it in one way or the other. We used to associate Almighty Allah with partner without we knowing. Maybe you might be expecting that, yes, probably from your heart, from the deep of your heart, yes, you agree that it's Almighty Allah that is doing so thing, but you agreed upon that if there is nothing, so nothing might not happen. Despite you agree that Almighty Allah is the only one that is doing it. Like last week, I made mention of like now you can agree or you can believe that yes, there might be a rainfall, but without clouds, you will be feeling that like we won't have any rainfall because you agreed that rainfall is the reason for what for the rain. Sorry, the cloud is the reason for the rainfall. So no, even if there is cloud, no cloud, it is always Almighty Allah that is doing it. So if there is cloud, if Allah wishes, so it might be rain. It might not. It might not. But if there is nothing like cloud, if Almighty Allah said kum, there is nothing kum fayakun. So it will just happen like that. So always remember that there is sabab for anything and there is musabbib. As sabab, that's the channel of unit, then al musabbib Allah. So always it is Almighty Allah that is doing it. So now Mala said, فَأَكْبَرِ الشِّرْكِ فَأَكْبَرِ الْكَبَائِرِ الشِّرْكُ بِاللَّهِ. That's the major one, the biggest among this what? This major sin, it is what? Al-shirku billah. Then Mala said, huwa naw'an, and it is of two types. Even this ashirk, it is of two types. One, he said, أَحَدُهُمَا, the first one, أَنْ يَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ نِدًّا. That is just to associate Almighty Allah with what? With partner. That's the biggest problem. By doing that, Mala said, وَيَعْبُدُ غَيْرَهُ. Then you will be what? Worshipping. You will be worshipping someone beside Almighty Allah. This is what? The first classification of this ashirk. It is what? Almighty Allah. That's what supposed to be worshipped towards, but you shouldn't worship anything beside Almighty Allah. Despite you agree that it's Almighty Allah that what? Created this heaven, created you, and anything that you agreed upon that it's Almighty Allah created it. So whoever that is this, maybe this is a living thing. If this living thing can create what heaven for you, can create you, so just go ahead and worship that being. But does anybody or did anyone can be able to do this? This cannot be done by anyone except what? Almighty Allah. So definitely He's the one that what responsible. So at least you need to what? To worship Him. You need to what? To agree upon that He's the only one. He is doing anything that He decided to do without anyone challenging Him. Then Mala said, وَيَعْبُدَ غَيْرَهُ. Then Almighty Allah created you and you are what? Worshipping someone beside Him. Like what? He said, min hajr. Like there's those that used to what? To worship to the stones or the rocks or the mountains. They just what? Accept them at their what? At their goods. They will be what? Going on what? Make performing sujood to them. They agree often that they are their what? They are their goods. Some shajar. Some they used to what? To worship towards what? The trees. They are worshipping the trees. Aw shams. Some they used to what? To perform their worship towards what? The sun. Aw qamar. Some they used to do towards what? The moon. Aw nabi, or any prophet among the prophets of Almighty Allah. So they don't have any what? Any authority to be what? To be worshipped toward them. They are nothing like worshipping towards what? Prophets. Each and every prophet of Allah is delivering the word of Allah. So definitely is a messenger. Since he's a messenger, so you don't have the right to worship him. Then aw shaykhun, aw najam, aw shaykh, or even one of your what? Maybe your four scholars. Even if it is sahab, tabi, or whatever, even if he's a scholar, no matter how good he is, you don't have that authority of what? Of worshiping towards him. Aw najam, or even what? The stars that we used to see in the sky. So you shouldn't worship them. Then aw malak, or angels. There is those group of people that used what? To worship an angels. So they don't deserve to be what? Worship. Aw ghayri dhalik, or anything else beside Almighty Allah. He said, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Al-Alameen. Kulli ma Allah. Anything that is not Almighty Allah is what? Is Allah. So you shouldn't worship anyone except Almighty Allah. Then this is the most what? This is the shirk number one. The Malan said, وَهَذَا هُوَ الشِّرْكُ الْأَكْبَرُ. This is the major, this is the biggest one among what the major sin. الَّذِي ذَكَرَ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ, the one that Almighty Allah stated in His holy book. Allah Ta'ala, Almighty Allah said in His holy book, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. Almighty Allah said, surely He don't used to forgive those that what used to associate partner to Him, towards Him. Almighty Allah won't what forgive that. This is what we are saying. If you are what performing something like associating Almighty Allah with partner, and you die doing this, definitely there is nothing like forgiveness towards you in the day of judgment. Definitely you will go to to hellfire. But if you are doing this, but later you repent, you go back to Almighty Allah, so that's where Almighty Allah will forgive you. Then وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. Almighty Allah is to forgive something that is what? Not upward to shirk, not up to associating with partner. But if it is associating Almighty Allah with partner, definitely Almighty Allah will not forgive that if you what? You die doing it. وقال تعالى وقال تعالى, then Almighty Allah also said, إِنَّ الشِّرْكَ لَظُلْمٌ عَظِيمٌ. Surely associating him with partner, لَظُلْمٌ عَظِيمٌ. Definitely it is what? It is very, very major sin that is very critical, very huge, very big one. You shouldn't do that. This is zulm. A zulm, that is what? Cheating. This is very big cheating in Islam. You don't have anything that is more cheatable compared to what? To associating Almighty Allah with what? With partner. So definitely, on no account, you should what? You should worship someone beside Almighty Allah. Always it is Almighty Allah that was supposed to be worshipped. So you shouldn't worship anyone beside Almighty Allah. وقال تعالى في آية الأخرى, then Almighty Allah also said in another ayah, إنه من يشرك بالله, surely whoever associates partner to Almighty Allah, فقد حرم الله عليه الجنة. Definitely the one was already been forbidden from what? From the Jannah of Almighty Allah. Definitely won't enter what? Al Jannah. As I said before, definitely if we died, what? Doing it. But if you repent before what? Before your day of dying, so Almighty Allah will forgive you on that. That is it. But if you die doing it, so definitely you go into hellfire. Then the Almighty Allah said, then definitely your what? Your aqiba, your what? Your house in the day of judgment is nowhere rather what? Rather hellfire. Mala said, وَالْآيَاتْ فِي ذَلِكَ كَثِيرًا. So we have so many verses that we used to discuss on a particular issue related to what? To ashirk, associated to Almighty Allah with partner. So we have so many ayat that are saying that. So but the Imam, the author of the book, used to summarize them here. Despite at times, if you want to go through so many things like that, you might have like the book will be like much bulkier. So, but just he like to restrict the ayat here. So, in such a way that we can have some other part of what? Of Sharia pertaining the book. So he said that. Then he moved ahead and said, فَمَنْ أَشْرَكَ بِاللَّهِ ثُمَّ مَاتَ مُشْرِكًا فَهُوَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ النَّارِ قَطْعًا. Whoever associated Almighty Allah, then he died doing it, he died performing it, definitely that person will be part of what? Hell dwellers. He won't enter Al-Jannah. Why? Because he died performing al-shirk toward Almighty Allah. So if you want to enter Al-Jannah, so definitely avoid anything like shirk. Anything related to shirk. Remember, from the start we said, this shirk, it is of two types. So remember, still now we are in what? In the first part, the type 1. So you are coming down to type 2. This is type 1. Then he said, كان من مات مشركا فهو من أصحاب النار قطعا. Then he said, كما أن من آمن بالله ومات مؤمنا فهو من أصحاب الجنة. It is the same thing. If you believe in Almighty Allah, the true believing, you know there is true believing, there is fake believing. There's even in believer. We are all Muslims. Ya ayyuhal muslimin, ya so many in Quran. But ya ayyuhal mu'min, ya ayyuhal mu'min. Look at the two. We are all Muslims. We are all Muslims, as what our Holy Prophet hadith mentioned. Mani Muslimin illa yuladu ala al-fitra. Whoever just come down to this world, he just came what? As a Muslim. irrespective of his mother or father or whatever, provided that what he just came down to this world, he's a Muslim. Maybe his mother and father might be what Christians or whatever, but that person is a Muslim at that moment. But later on, he will be what converted to another what religion. But yes, he said definitely whoever died performing what shirk, so he will definitely enter hellfire. كما أن من آمن بالله ومات مؤمنا فهو من أصحاب الجنة. Yes, equally surely that whoever died as a true believer definitely will enter what al-Jannah. As Almighty Allah promised on that. وَإِنْ عُذِبَ بِالنَّارِ. Even if he were what? He were being tormented by what? Hellfire. Yes, there is instances. There is a certain situation such that you will definitely not enter al-Jannah directly. You must what? You must undergo the process of what? Going through hellfire prior to what? Going into al-Jannah. We have so many instances. You might be committing one or two sins here in dunya. This sin might not give you an access to enter al-Jannah direct. Rather what? You must pass through what? Through the hellfire. So by doing that, so later on you will enter into what? Into al-Jannah. So even if you enter into the hellfire, provided that you died mu'min, you died with what? Full belief, so you definitely enter what? Al-Jannah. The Malan said of this Sahih, this happens what? Sahih Bukhari, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our holy prophet, peace be upon him, said, Ala unabbi'ukum bi akbar al-kaba'ir. Should I not mention to you the biggest among the big, the most biggest one among the what associated among this major sin? Even in major sin there is a biggest one, as we mentioned last week. Should I not mention to you onto that? Which one is the big one? Thalathan, she mentioned it 3 times. Then the Sahaba said, Bala ya Rasulallah. Oh ya Rasulallah, sure, tell us. Ya Rasulullah, let us know on this. Let us understand that. Then he said, Al-Isharaku billah. Then to associate Almighty Allah with partner. That's the major one. The major sin that will commit towards what? Worshipping Almighty Allah. Associating him with partner. Then he made mention of uqul walidayn. Then to wrong your parents. Remember Almighty Allah give us promise towards our parents. وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ إِحْسَانًا وَحُسْنًا حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ كُرْهًا وَوَضَعَتْهُ كُرْهًا أو كَرْهًا. We have all these. So وَحَمْلُهُ كُرْهًا أو كَرْهًا. There is all this reading. Sorry for this interruption. So وَحَمْلُهُ وَفِصَالُهُ 30 شهرا حتى إذا بلغ أشده ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه حسنا وإن جاهدك على أن تشرك بما ليس لك به علم فلا تطعهما وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا. Almighty Allah is doing promising us of that. We definitely what? Keep this promise. You shouldn't what wrong your parents. Remember how your parents bring you into this world. Remember, even this in parents, there is a difference. Almighty, our Holy Prophet mentioned it. Even the mother is the priority one. The mother. He made mention. Even this ayah, Almighty Allah clarifies. حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ إِحْسَانًا. He mentioned what? 2 of the parents. But later on, the ayah continued with what? The only mother. حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ كُرْهًا وَوَضَعَتْهُ كُرْهًا وَحَمْلُهُ وَفِصَالُهُ 30 شهرا حتى إذا بلغ أشده وبلغ. What is happening now? Almighty Allah is telling you what? The struggles of what? Of the mother, not the father. This part, even from here we have what? The clarity of the thing. So despite whatever you read, but most times we used to disrespect our mothers much compared to how we used to disrespect our fathers. So but despite the mother is what? Is the most priority one. So here Almighty Allah mentioned, please, you shouldn't wrong your parents. Irrespective of the situation, no matter the situation, maybe they might be me, they might be poor, they might be so, they might be in a state of maybe sick condition, whatever. So at least however, please make sure you did good towards them so that you can convince them. Remember, they are those that will give you access to your Jannah. If you want this access to the Jannah, so at least try to follow your parents clearly and accurately. When Almighty Allah mentioned two of these, al-ishraku billah wa uqul walidain, then he made mention, the narrator of the hadith made mention of wakana muttaqiyan. Then the holy prophet, is what, like sitting like ittika, with what on his side, while he's what saying al-ishraku billah wa uqul walidain. He's saying this while he was is laying on his back. Then what's happened? Then fajalasa, then he what stands still. What does that mean? According to some ulama, they said it is what one information, one vital information that you won't pass. Despite that, this information does that information mean this one is bigger or is greater than that one? Some ulama said no, no, not like that. But what is happening here is this information that you won't pass on now, it is very important one as well compared to the others. So that what make him to what to stand still and addressing while addressing the Sahaba. Then he said, "Ala wa qawli zur, ala wa shahadatu zur." Then be warned that qawli zur wa shahadatu zur. You are saying just rubbish talking anyway. Then you used to what give false testimony, false talk and false testimony. Now it used to happen. Like we used to take it for granted. We just see it as something just as a normal. Oh, my friend, what's happening that side? Yes, I saw. Why you didn't see anything? But just you are saying yes, you bear witness, you see it, you witness it. Why are you doing that? Do you take something for granted? Whatever you are doing must be accounted, must be recorded. So no matter how small you move your tongue, that thing must be what recorded down. It must be what presented to you on the day of judgment. So at least whatever you're doing, just do it with care, so that you won't be what at the wrong side. So whenever someone comes down to you with a particular talk or anything, just be able to follow the lead and the guide. Be able to keep your mouth shut. You don't know about anything, just shoot your mouth. Yes, I don't know about anything. You shouldn't give wrong testimony. You shouldn't say it. There is nothing like playing. There is not like I'm playing, I was joking. There is nothing like joking in Islam. Just whatever you are doing, no matter how small you just move your tongue, the Malak will record it. You don't know anything about playing. He's just doing what he was ordered to do. So this is it. So always they used to act upon what Almighty Allah commanded them to do. That's angels. So be able to be right and true with whatever you are doing. You shouldn't do anything false. So this false talk and false testimony is not yours. So Almighty, our Holy Prophet has been mentioning it. So please avoid this. Then the narrator of the hadith mentioned that he keep what? Mentioning it. False testimony, false talk. He keep what? He keep what? Saying it again and again. Then the Prophet, the Sahaba, they even said in their mind, the Holy Prophet should stop here. Despite how he used what? To be what? Mentioning it again and again. What does that supposed to mean? This is a very critical condition that we normally don't use to take into account. Even what's happening with Mu'az bin Jabal. When Almighty Allah, Holy Prophet addressed him with so many issues. Later on, our Holy Prophet mentioned to him that, Ya Mu'az, kufa alayka hada. Then our Holy Prophet just what? Hold his tongue. Kufa alayka hada. Please be able to protect this. This is your tongue. This is something, this is very vital organ in you that will lead you to what? A very big problem. Then the Mu'az doubted and said, Ya Rasulallah, inna la mu'akhizuna bima natakallamu bi. Oh, on this we are saying just simple words. We are saying, is it something harmful towards us? Almighty Allah mentioned to him, this will just make you to be at the deep bottom of what? Of the Jahannam. So please avoid that. Whatever you need to say, you need to talk, you need to what? To consider it. Is this a good one or not? So whatever you are doing, la yu'minu ahadukum, man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir falyaqul khayran aw liyasmut. What's happened to Abdullah bin Umar during that time? Almighty Allah mentioned to them this hadith. But Abdullah bin Umar, while talking, when he said one word, he will just keep silent before saying the second one. So despite if you are the one that is talking to us, you will experience or you will feel it like this is like he's just doing something like playing or joking to me. But he's not doing like that. He's just doing it in such a way that the next word that will come out, you want to what? Testify that is this a good word or bad word. Just to make sure that what I'm saying, is this the good one or the bad one? So when he said one word, he will take a while before saying the second one. Just to avoid what? Problem here. So please, whatever we need to say, whatever we need to give testimony on the account on, so please make sure you are saying something truth. That's where you are expected to be. Then, وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم, our holy prophet, peace be upon him, said, اجتنبوا سبع الموبقات, as we mentioned last week. Then he said, distance yourself from this seven what? This seven forbidden act that will lead you to what? To the hellfire. Then, فذكر منها الشرك بالله, out of them he made mention of what? الشرك, associated Almighty Allah with partner. وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم, then our holy prophet mentioned again that من بدل دينه فقتلوه, whoever changes his deen, his religion, so definitely kill him off. Now you are a Muslim, so later on just you decided to convert into another what? Into another deen or religion. So what are we going to do to you? We'll kill you out. But before that, we'll get our ulama, maybe one of our imam will come. So imam address this guy. So he'll come and convince you. Please, why are you doing so? Did anyone wrong you in this day? What's happened to you? So he will give you this what? Address. This day, another day, for only 3 days. If you decided to come back to Islam, that is normal. But if you refuse to do that, so definitely our what? Sharpened sword will be what? On your neck. That's what will happen. So just your head will be cut off. Then our holy prophet said, whoever changes his will, definitely just kill him off. So this is it. Then remember, as I made mention before, this is only part of what? A shirk number 1. We said shirk is of 2 types. This is shirk number 1. Then the Malam mentioned again, shirk. The next category of shirk, it is what? Ar-Riya. What is this Ar-Riya? Ar-Riya bil amal. Then you are doing your work and deeds. All those deeds and work that are supposed to be channeled to Almighty Allah. You are doing all this for the sake of Allah, but now you are not doing it for the sake of Allah. You are doing it for what? In order to get recognition and the praise from what? From the humans. So you are doing all this just to get recognition. So despite you are doing that, so definitely this is another shirk. This is a shirk thani, and now thani min shirk. This is the second category of this shirk. Then, kama qala Allah Ta'ala, as Almighty Allah mentioned in the Holy Quran, وَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ, whoever is willing to meet Almighty Allah in the day of judgment, safe and sound, then فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا. So let him do good deeds, good work, good deeds that Almighty Allah will record it. Then at the top of all, وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا. Then you shouldn't associate Almighty Allah with any partner. You shouldn't associate Almighty Allah. You won't be safe in the day of judgment. You won't be safe. Are you willing to get Almighty Allah's rahmah and blessing? So definitely you shouldn't associate Almighty Allah with any partner. That's when you will be what? Given this. That's when you will be what? Given the chance to enter Al-Jannah. Then Malam go ahead and mention, أَيْ لَا يُرَائِي بِعَمَلِهِ أَحَدًا. You shouldn't show your work to anyone. What does that mean? You shouldn't show your work to anyone. You shouldn't do it for the sake of anyone. That's Riya. If you are doing it for the sake of anyone, that's where you are doing Riya. Meaning you are doing your work for the sake of humans or anything that will praise you. Then وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم, considering that our holy prophet mentioned that إِيَّاكُمْ وَالشِّرْكُ الْأَصْغَرُ. So I'm warning you from the small shirk. I'm warning you from the small shirk. قالوا, then the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, ma shirkul asgar. Ya Rasulullah, what is that small shirk? What is it, the small shirk? Then Almighty, Holy Prophet said, Riya. Then doing your own deeds for the sake of humans, in order to get recognition, to get praises from the humans. This is Riya. This is Shirkul Asgar. This is the small shirk, but remember that the major one, the first category of the shirk, it is the biggest one, this is small one. This is the Shirkul Akbar, this is Shirkul Asgar. So that one, the first one, it will completely what? Remove you out from what? From the Islam. But this one, you will remain Muslim. But all this your work that you are doing, we'll hear that later. Then, يقول الله تعالى, Almighty Allah is also saying, Almighty Allah will also say in the day of judgment, will say when? يوم يجازى العباد بأعمالهم. The day that Almighty Allah will grant the rewards to those His servants that serve Him well. On exactly that day, Almighty Allah will say to those that used to do their work for Riyah. Almighty Allah will say to them what? اذهبوا إلى الذين كنتم تراؤونهم بأعمالكم. Oh no, today. Do you know what? No. Go to those people that you used to show your work to them so that you can get their praises, you can get their recognition. So now today, go to them. Go to them. No, I don't have business. Almighty Allah said that. I don't have business with you today. But just go towards what? Go to those that used to show your work to them. Go to them now. Almighty Allah will mention that. Then, in the dunya, then فانظروا هل تجدون عندهم جزاء. Then you check. Will they be able to what? To reward you? Go to them and see. Will they be able to reward you? You are doing this work. You are doing all your deeds to get their recognition. So now today, go to them and see if they can give you something in return. At least whatever you are doing, you are performing one work or two. So what should it be? At least, maybe let's assume like today I'm a worker. When I'm done with my working here, what will happen? I will go to the Oga, just pay me my salary so that I will be going. Is that not what will happen? So exactly when you are done with your work, just go to your Oga and collect your what? Your salary and go. It is exactly what will happen on the day of judgment. Almighty Allah said, go to those that did your work for their sake so that they can repay you back. Is that going to be possible? That will not be possible. So that what will happen to those that have what? That's they used to act or to perform this area. Then Almighty Allah will say, هَلْ تَجِدُونَ عِنْدَهُمْ جَزَاءً. Will you get some reward from them? Go and check and see if they can do anything to you. They might be promising you here. Don't worry. Yes, in the day of judgment, we will carry off your notice and all our hours and whatever. So we'll go, don't worry, we'll back you up in the day of judgment. Who is he? Who he is? Irrespective of who he is, he will what? Do anything to you. There is nothing like that. يوم يفر المرء من أخيه وأمه وأبيه وصاحبته وبنيه لكل امرئ منهم يومئذ شأن يغنيه. That's the day of judgment. There is nothing that will give you anything, no matter how good, how close you are. That's in the dunya. So now we are no longer in dunya, so we definitely will have our own way. So that's the essence of good relationship. If you have good relationship, that way you can what? You can benefit. As one hadith mentioned, maybe you might be what? Along in the day of judgment, you can meet him. Wani, we used to be very good friends in dunya. I used to give you an advice, go and perform nafil prayer, go and do sound, go and do whatever. Good deeds. Please help me. With just quarter of just one reward, maybe I can be able to be granted to Jannah. He said, that's very good. Yes, we used to be very good friends. We used to do so very good deeds. But today, you are looking for 1 over 4. Even me, I'm looking for 1 over 12. This is like 1 over 4 viewers. So will you be able to give me that? He said, no. So since this is, just let's every one of us take his own part. So you'll go this way, you'll go this way. But despite that, you have good relationship in dunya. This is your relationship for the sake of Allah. What will happen? Almighty Allah will say, all of you, 2 of you, just go to what? To Jannah. You have one very good relationship. That in terms of what? Allah's sake. But you are doing very good wrong. You are doing wrong things and whatever. So whenever you meet him, then you start to chase him away. You start to curse him. Then Almighty Allah says, لا تختصموا لدي وقد قدمت لكم بالوعيد. 2 of you just go to hellfire. You don't have good and proper relationship in dunya. So whatever you're doing, your friend, just befriend him with what? Open mind. Whatever that will benefit you and benefit him towards what? Islam. Don't ever did something that what will hurt him. Definitely we must be accounted on that on the day of judgment. So be able to do good deeds toward him. So that will keep you safe. Then وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم, our holy prophet peace be upon him said, يقول الله, Almighty Allah is saying, Man amila amalan, whoever performs one or two deeds, أشرك معي فيه غيري, in this his work or his deed, he is what? Associating partner towards me. Almighty Allah said that. Then فهو للذي أشرك, Almighty Allah said, I will leave him with what? What he associated me towards. In the day of judgment, Almighty Allah will bring down what? Maybe you have been worshipping what, like tree as we mentioned, or a rock or mountain or stone, or al-qamar or al-kawakib or whatever. So Almighty Allah will bring that down. You come. This guy used to worship you in the dunya, so give him his reward. Even that one, even that's things that you used to worship towards. Will argue that Almighty Allah, I don't know he's worshiping me. So will be his own way, will do your own way. So Almighty Allah will say, I will lead you towards what you have been worshipping during the time. So at least the pure iman is the pure iman. Though you don't have any worship towards anything, any creature of Almighty Allah except Almighty Allah, He alone. Then Almighty Allah said, وَأَنَا مِنْهُ بَعِيدٌ, I will be free from him. I don't have any business with him. So he will be with what? With the things he will be to worship in the dunya. وقال, then he said, Man samma Allahu bi. Whoever raises his voice in order to get recognition, to get praises, like now I'm raising my voice, maybe to get recognition from the others. This is a very good imam. He used to do very good reading and whatever. So this, if I'm doing this for the sake of just people recognition, I'm doing nothing in particular. So then man samma Allahu. Whoever raises his voice to get that recognition, so definitely that's only his reward. Then وَمَنْ رَأَى اللَّهُ بِهِ. Whoever did it, maybe now you are looking at me. So whoever did it just to seek that looking, just yes, I can recognize the face. He's very good one. So that is your reward. You will only get that praise. You don't have anything like reward from Almighty Allah. So definitely whatever you are doing, please let it be. As we mentioned last week, there is conditions prior to recording your deeds, good deeds. That condition among them, we said there is al-ikhlas. Whatever you are doing, it must be what? For Allah's sake. But you are doing it for someone's sake, so definitely you don't have anything like reward. It is only the present that you need, it's only that you will get. You don't have anything beside that. Then Abu Hurairah narrated one hadith, and the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, a holy prophet, said, Rabbu Sa'im, the person who used to perform sawm, fasting, maybe in each Monday and Thursday, he used to perform sawm. لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ صَوْمِهِ إِلَّا الْجُوعُ. He don't have anything related to reward. He don't have any reward in his fasting, except what? Hungry. You have been doing your sawm, you are fasting in each or in every Monday and Thursday, but you don't have anything like reward. Who is this person? We'll see later. We'll hear later. Then al-ju' wal-'atash. You don't have anything like only hungry and thirsty. وَرَبُّ قَائِمٍ. Then the person that used to to have been standing in the night, used to perform nawafil, salat al-layl, used to perform that. Then laysa lahu min qiyamihi illa sahar. That one he don't have anything like reward from Almighty Allah. All he has is what? Just he used to avoid himself from sleeping. Just he's wasting his sleeping there. Just it is better for you just to go down to your bed and just sleep. Why? Because you are not doing it for the sake of Allah. Yes, I'm doing this. He used to do it every night. He used to do it. That's very good one. Every Thursday and Monday, he used to perform song. That's very good. Just to get recognition, you have it. That's only your reward. So I mention it again. Whenever and whatever and wherever you are, please do your own work and this for the Almighty Allah's sake. But besides that, you are doing it for nothing. You don't have any reward. Remember we have mentioned shirk. This is another what category, or the second category of shirk. The first one is associating Almighty Allah with partner, and the second one is this area, doing work or doing deeds for the sake of recognition from what individuals. So let's try and avoid that. Then, يعني, what does that mean in this statement? يعني أنه إذا لم يكن صلاة والصوم لوجه الله تعالى فلا ثواب له. If it happens that you are doing all this your prayer, night prayer, and all this your sawm, if it is not for the sake of Allah, definitely you are doing it for nothing. You don't have anything like reward from Almighty Allah. Then Kamar, it is equally reported that from our Holy Prophet, أنه قال, he said, مثل الذي يعمل الرياء والسمع. Example of the person that used to perform his own work, his own deeds, just for the sake of getting that recognition and praise from what? From individuals. What is that his example? Then he said, كَمَثَلَ الَّذِي يَمْلَأُ كَيْسَهُ حَسَى. It is exactly the example of the person that used to fill off his case, like the bag, small handbag. You fill it with what? Al-hasa. Those the stones, small stones. You just pick what? Small stones. Fill off your what? Handbag with what? The stone. You won't go to market. You have your small bag. So you fill it up. Instead of filling it with money, now you are no longer filling it with rupee, with dollar, whatever. You are filling up your what? Your bag with what? Stones, small stones. That's your example. Then then he enter into the markets. What will happen? Just you are there into the market for the purpose of what? Buying something. But do you have money? You don't have money, but you have the bag together with what? Your stones inside. Then what will happen? Then فَإِذَا فَتَحَهُ Then if you open it, you will forward it towards what? The person that is what? They are transacting together, the seller. You will give it to the seller. What will happen? فَإِذَا هُوَ حَصَى There is nothing inside like money. Only what? It is only what? The stones. What will happen? Then وَضَرَبَ بِهِ وَجَهَ Then it will be what? Push back to what? Towards your face. They will throw it back to your face. That's only what? The example of the person that used to do his own work for the sake of what? People. So it is this example. If you are doing your work to get that recognition, you don't have any difference from this one. Your quality, your similarity is toward the person that what used to fill up his bag with what? With these stores, going into the market for the sake of what? Business transaction. Does he have any money? He doesn't. So definitely it will happen. You won't be given an access to anything important. So even beside that, you will be what? You will be chased away. Without, maybe you might be wounded along the way. So this is like 2-0. So there is a problem. So this is the example of the person that is doing his own deeds, but not for the sake of Allah. Rather what? Just to get recognition from individuals. Then our Holy Prophet said, sorry. Then وَلَا مَنْفَعَةٍ لَهُ فِي كَيْسِهِ سِوَى مَقَاتِلِ النَّاسِ You don't have anything important in that his back. Unless what? Only what? Things that can be, something that can kill someone. These stones, when you use stones, even during Rajab, if this person is a widow person, performs zina, what will happen to him? There's a Rajab. Will chase him? Will what? Stone him? Or will stone him? This is maqatal al-nas. This hasa, we use it to stone someone. So this in your work, you don't have anything important, rather what? Something that we can use to kill someone. Is this something important? It is equally this your stone that will be used against you. So this is the example of this person that is performing this work. Then, this what you fill off your bag with it, you won't be given anything with it, and it won't be what? Considered as something that can be used for transaction. Then فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَعْمَلُ الرِّيَاءَ وَالسَّمْعَ Then the example of the person that used to do for his own work just to get recognition or to be had by someone, فَلَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ عَمَلِهِ سِوَى مَقَاتِلِ النَّاسِ He don't have anything important in his deeds, rather only something that will fill him up, that will give him an access into the hellfire. Then وَلَا ثَوَابَ لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ He don't have any reward in what? In akhirah, in the day after, in the hereafter. Then قال الله تعالى, Almighty Allah, they said again, وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ. Then will be bring, will, they will, what they did will be brought to us. Then min amalin, from their deed, فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْصُورًا. Then we will get it as like dust. This dust that will be carried out by the wind. Even this haba, some ulama used to what? To translate it as, now like if you open the door, or like this window, what will happen? The light will come in. When the light is coming in, won't you be experiencing something like dusty, small one? This is it. Look at how the wind used to carry it away. It is not as like normal what dust. So this is haba and mansura. This is how your work will look like. Why? Because you are doing work not for the sake of Allah. Rather, you are doing for the sake of what? Getting recognition from individuals or someone. So definitely your work will be like that. It will be just like a dust that will be carried out by wind. There is nothing important in that. Then يعني, what does that mean? يعني الأعمال التي عملها لغير الله. Whatever act, whatever deed did someone perform, but not for the sake of Allah, then أبطلنا ثوابها. Then Almighty Allah said, will what? Will waste the reward of that. Then kalhaba and mansur. The similar example to that what dust that is what normally carried away by the wind. That's the example of what he used to do. Since you are not doing it for the sake of Allah, so definitely that will be what like that. That's the similar example to that. Then what is that haba mansur? Then هو الغبار الذي يرى في شعاع الشمس. It is exactly the dust that we used to see when what? When sun just reflect in, so we see some dust is just getting off. So this is haba mansur according to this riwayah. Then وروى عدي بن خاتم الطائي رضي الله عنه عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, then our holy prophet said, يؤمر بفعام أي جماعة, somewhat, some jama'a, some group of people will be what? Will be permitted. Min al-nas, from what? From the general people. Yawm al-qiyamah, ila al-jannah. They will be what? Allowed to be carried out to Jannah. So group of people will be what? Taken away. To where? Towards Jannah. What will happen to them? Hatta idha danu minha. So when they are close to it, when they are close to that Jannah, وَاسْتَنْشَقُّ رَائِحَتْهَا, they start to smell what? The smelling of al-Jannah. They start to what? To smell it out. They start to what? To smell. Meaning they can see it, they can locate it. Then وَانْظُرُوا إِلَىٰ أُصُورِهَا, they started to see the walls of Jannah. Now أُصُور من قوارير, they made from glass. The one from inside can see one from outside. So we'll meet there inshallah. So what will happen? They started to see what? The walls of that Jannah. وَإِلَى مَا عَدَّ اللَّهَ لِأَهْلِهَا فِيهَا, they started to see all what Allah promises to His servants in it. So there are so many things inside. We have so many. So we have the alcohol there over there. We have something like the river of lavan. We have the river of honey. We have some here in Dunya. You don't have something like river of honey. Here in Dunya, you don't have something like river of alcohol. You don't have river of what? Lavan, the milk. We don't have river of that. But in Jannah, we equally all have that. Not even in cup. Or this is river. Yes, river. You can feel inside. You can swim inside. So this is something very reasonable. So this Almighty Allah just reserves them for what? For the true believers. May Almighty Allah make us among them. Then what will happen? They see the wall. They see what is inside. They smell it out. What will happen? Then Almighty Allah will call those angels that are what? Conveying them to the Jannah. Almighty Allah will call, you angels, and asrifuhum anha, please turn them around, turn them back. They are not part of it. Turn them around. They are not dwellers of Al-Jannah. Turn them around. فَإِنَّهُمْ لَا نَصِيبَ لَهُمْ فِيهَا, they don't have anything like reward inside it. They are not part of it. Why? They will بِحَصَارَةٍ, they will come back with losing. They are really losers. Look at this losing. This will happen that just if you didn't see anything, you didn't smell anything, you didn't see anything. That will be better. Yeah. But you see, remember in Jannah, our Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, مَا لَا عَيْنُ رَأَتْ وَلَا مَا أُذُنُ سَمِعَتْ وَلَا خَطَرَ عَلَىٰ قَلْبٍ بَشَرٍ قَطٌّ. What is inside Jannah? Even your thinking, your thought will never what experience it. This is where your control. All this what have been seen in your eye. Remember, our Holy Prophet said in Jannah, Almighty Allah has 100 rahmah. It is only one that Allah left in this world. It is through it that we used to swim out. Wherever we are swimming, this young one, this mother will take care of, this small animal will take care of, this whatever you have, is only this rahmah. There is 99 that will be what granted to the believers to enter into Jannah with them. And this is a very good wish. So we are hoping for that. Then فَيَرْجِعُونَ بِحَصَارَةٍ وَنَدَامَةٍ. They will turn back with what? Regrets and losing. مَارَجَ الْأَوَّلُونَ الْآخَرُونَ بِمِثْلِهَا فَيَقُولُونَ when they were asked to be turned back, then they would say to Almighty Allah, رَبَّنَا, O our Lord, لَوْ أَدْخَلْتَنَا النَّارَ قَبْلَ أَنْ تُرِيَنَا مَا أَرَيْتَنَا مِنْ ثَوَابِ مَا أَعَدَّتْ لِأَوْلِيَائِكَ كَانَ أَهْوَنُ عَلَيْنَا. O Almighty Allah, why did you show us this? Almighty Allah, it will be easy just to leave us without seeing the one of Al-Jannah, without smelling it, just go into the nar, into the hellfire. That would be better for us, but now, this, our mind has gone somewhere else. We are having a problem with him that, Almighty Allah, why you did this to us? Almighty Allah, just without showing us this, Al-Jannah will be safe, just going down to hell. That would be better for us, but Almighty Allah, why showing us this now? They'll start to say that. So they like say they are saying, Almighty Allah, you show us something that what raise up, that's what disturb our mind. But Almighty Allah, why doing that? Why not just directly to Nar without going and see that? That's ni'mah. So that's what we'll be saying. فَيَقُولُ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى. Then Almighty Allah will say, ذَلِكَ مَا أَرَدْتُ بِكُمْ. This is exactly what you are determined. That's what exactly we need to do to you. To show you the exact rahmah, and will take you to where? To the hellfire. That's what we need to do. Kuntum idha, sorry, is that the place? Kuntum idha khalawtum ba'adtumuni bila adha'in. Almighty Allah said, you used to be in the dunya. You used to be, when you are clear, you are alone. Then you channel all your work towards me. You are doing your deeds towards me in dunya while you are alone. If you are in your room, you will be reading your Quran for the sake of Allah. So that's what you used to do. But what happened? وَإِذَا لَقِيتُمُ النَّاسِ لَقِيتُمُهُمْ مُخْبِتِينَ يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسَ بِأَعْمَالِكُمْ. But when you met people outside or in the masjid or anywhere else, you used to what? To show them, now we know how to do proper qira'ah and whatever. That's what you used to do. If you are alone, you used to do your work for the sake of Allah, but the moment you meet someone, you will start to sharpen your voice. You will start to sharpen your prayer. You will start to do mood. You will start to do. That's what you used to do. That's also meaning what? You are not doing this work for the sake of Allah. Rather, you are doing it for the sake of getting recognition. So that's the essence of doing this to you. So we show you the one of Jannah and some things inside it, but now we are taking you there to where? To hellfire. Because of that, what you have been doing. You have been doing your own work. Almighty Allah is the one that asks you to do the work, but you are doing it for the sake of Allah if you are alone. But if you are together with your people, you will be doing it what? For the sake of that your people. So always, irrespective of where you are, if it happens that you are what? Within your community, you are within your company, if it happens that you are with what? With whoever, please be able to do your own work on your ibadat for the sake of Almighty Allah. You shouldn't sharpen your prayer, you shouldn't sharpen your qira'ah, you shouldn't do anything just by the reason of seeing someone. That someone will cheat you out. You shouldn't do that. Please be able to do what you are expected to do. Sorry, I see the time, so let me have one point before. Then Almighty Allah said, Habbatumun nas walat habuni. Almighty Allah said, you used to fear what? Humans, you don't used to fear me. You are doing this work just to fear people, but not to fear me, your Almighty Allah. Then وَأَجَلَنْتُمْ لِلنَّاسِ وَلَا تُجَلُّونِي. Almighty Allah said, you used to what? To give or to make people great, then compared to use to what? To greet me. So you are doing this just to raise their what? Their career, but now like you're underestimating the career of Almighty Allah. That's the essence of doing this your work. Since you are doing this your work to get recognition, just to be praised by someone, meaning like you are doing this your ibadah towards that person. Then, sorry. Then Almighty Allah says, وَتَرَكْتُمْ مِنْ نَاسِ وَلَا تَتْرُكُوا لِي. You used to leave some bad act that you used to do for the sake of what? People, but not for my sake. Then you used to perform one bad deed. Maybe you used to drink alcohol or beer, you used to do something like anything that is bad. Whenever you see someone, what will happen? You'll be able to hide. But remember, Almighty Allah always is with you. No matter your number. ما يكون من نجوى ثلاثة إلا هو رابعهم ولا خمسة إلا هو سادسهم ولا أدنى من ذلك الأكثر إلا هو معهم أينما كانوا. Wherever you are, Almighty Allah is with you. But always, if you see someone, you used to hide. What you don't use to hide from what? From Almighty Allah. So meaning you used to what? To leave your work for the sake of someone, but you don't use to leave it for the sake of Almighty Allah. All that you have been doing, that's the essence of bringing you into the world of the Jannah, then later turning you down to where? To the hellfire. So this is all because of all your deeds. You have been doing all your work that's supposed to be for the sake of Allah, but now you are turning down all this your work for the sake of people. So this is the reason for doing that to you. So due to the time factor, maybe we should stop here. If we have anything complementation or anything to complement. So next, inshallah, we'll start from here. We will ask Almighty Allah to grant our wish. May Almighty Allah keep us safe from this riyah and shirk up to the day that we will leave this dunya. May Almighty Allah see us through. May Almighty Allah ease our case and all our affairs. نسأل الله تعالى التوفيق في كل شيء. اللهم أحسن عاقبتنا في أمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة. بسم الله. ما شاء الله. We have? Yeah. We have like so if they have no appreciated somehow, if it's presented as yeah, and also talk about like switching our voice now, voice, would that be counted as? Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. This is the series of the question. We have like two issues with regard to the questions. There is those questions that they are the fatwa questions. So we need to channel them to what? To the fatwa committee. What does a fatwa committee mean? In each and every environment, there is standard environment, there is mufti that is used to channel one fatwa question towards him. There is no question that can't be addressed directly from one book that you are reading. So at least there is a group of fatwa group mufti that will come and gather information so that they can have a decision. One, that's so some of the questions can be answered, but some they are what like fatwa questions. So this is one. And the second one is the issue was we are running out of time of the prayer. So now it is almost time for an azan. So maybe let's agree on next week we'll start with these questions. So immediately then we'll go into our normal run. That will be better. MashaAllah. Yeah, then we can send it to the group of masjid, so we see it together. So inshallah, we'll have any problem with that. اللهم اصلح عاقبتنا في امور كلها واجعلنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الاخره. ربنا ظلمنا انفسنا وان لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم انا نسالك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى والمستغفره. اللهم برحمتك امنا وقنا شر ما اهمنا وعلى الايمان الكامل بالكتاب والسنه توفنا برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك. الحمد لله.